Well, hey, thank you so much for doing this, Michael. And I do hope that, well, actually, you know what? Have you seen? You might not. You got to be aware of this, right? There's a documentary about AirPlay coming out.
Is it finally coming out? I was told about that a long ass time
Well,
ago.
it's been completed. I've gotten a private copy. Um, I've not
Is that
finished
the one
watching
with
it yet.
is that the one with part one and part two?
Yeah.
I saw part one. They showed me part one, and I asked my opinion, and I just gave my honest opinion, which was um, it it wasn't as tight as a journalist or a true documentary needs to be. I mean, there were some interesting things in there, but if the goal of that document, like I was trying to ask, because every journalist, the number one question is, what is your target audience? Like, who's it for? If it's for people that were in Gamergate or tangentially connected to it, I think it's fine. If the goal of it is to for people that never knew what it was, I think it gets back to the central reason there was Airplay in the first place, which is what the fuck is it? So there's so many parts of it where it delves into so much history that has nothing to do with Gamergate, but the reasons that it happened, and those parts kind of wander, you know. So it's like watching a bad movie that you're like, wait a minute, what's the subplot now? Like, why are we in Brazil? Like, how did we get there? Like, I thought this, like those kind of movies. So, where the central story kind of veers off and like you have to get all the backstory. So, and that's hard to do. I'm not running it down because that's what journalists
Yeah,
struggle with
he's
that
in
all
the
the time. You
chat,
write a
by the way.
story. Well, I mean, it was an ambitious. I mean, I think I said this at the time. It's ambitious. It's the B-roll is impressive. Um, like it's all but two parts. I don't know that the average person is going to get it. I think it's kind of what we talked about just a few minutes ago. I think that documentary will be watched by historians because not only does it have footage that will be important, but it also it kind of sums up the attitude of Gamergate. So I think it's like it's going to sound really weird, but it's like this. I'm making this really pompous. So in Roman history, like I love Roman history, right? So sometimes, like Aristotle, like everyone knows who Aristotle is, but we have no actual works of Aristotle. We have his notes and what other people said he said, and that's how you have to reconstruct Aristotle. It's not like he did publish things to be read by other people. We got none of that shit. We got his notes and what other people quoted him as saying in their books. I consider things like what you're doing in that documentary will be the things that people will draw from because the footage that's in that documentary, some of that is already probably gone. Some of it's no longer available or will not be available. What someone might find that documentary, might not even find your stuff or my stuff, and will have to use that to reconstruct what happened back here. We think we live in this age where everything is documented. Um, I was online in the 90s and none of that shit's around. So I think that documentary significance is maybe not what the producer intended, but it could conceivably be very significant.